What's up guys, Nolan here. This video is complete BS and full of my personal opinions, so do not watch it if you want actual useful information that you can apply to yourself. I have my playlists in the description for actual useful info if you came here expecting that. I've been going nuts on these videos lately, and with the wipe coming up, I just wanted to do an easy video for once. I have also been getting too many people calling me a shill, as well as asking if there's anything that I actually dislike about Escape from Tarkov. For one, I am completely addicted to this game, guys, and there's very little that BSG can do in order to make me not want to play it anymore. I'll die to cheaters, bugs, and desync all day, and in fact I have been doing that for years. That stuff just doesn't faze me anymore past the initial loss of the gear that I had. And to be honest, I actually feel bad for people who feel the need to cheat because they must be dealing with some significant mental struggle to feel the need to give themselves an unfair advantage in a game so that they feel like they have some kind of control over something in their life. I like to think cheaters have some fun doing what they do, but karma will hit them in some other way for affecting others negatively, while they are just trying to escape the real world and have some fun as well. The second thing here is that I am in no way a shill. In fact, I think BSG don't even like me, or at least the guy who runs their Twitter. The big thing here is that I am actually late to the party, and I only just recently decided to make videos on Escape from Tarkov. When all is said and done, I'd actually rather they promote people who've been promoting this from the beginning to get the game where it is today. If anything, I should be making videos bad-mouthing them since I won't need to worry about them sharing my stuff, and talk about how they're scamming everybody and how they're making all this money from hackers on purpose. But those are lies that people make up for clout and views. I'm not now, and never will I do that about any game that I cover unless there is substantial evidence for it that needs to be talked about. At this point, I actually appreciate that they haven't shared any of my videos because it helps me prove my point that I'm not a shill. If there is something negative about the project that needs to be said, I say it, and always have. I've never denied the presence of cheaters or issues in the game. I just love the game and want to see it succeed. So I make sure not to promote any bad behavior or negativity about it. That's it. The only things that would ever make me stop playing EFT is if they ever add a real-time kill cam, which I know about the after raid kill cam and have explained that in detail. New info from Nikita suggests that that may only be coming to arena mode now, but we'll see what happens. If there was a real-time kill cam like other FPS games, this will allow squatted up players to relay info to their buddies and would completely break the game from my perspective, so I'd leave if they ever added that. I'd quit if they added third-person perspective because it's completely unrealistic and somebody should be able to see at least some part of you, even if it's just the edge of your face, if you can see them no matter what. Apparently with this camera ball thing that may happen, but at least you can't immediately shoot with it, and you'll have to be on this tablet in order to use it, so I'm cool with that. I used to worry about the game reaching a point where it would no longer wipe because I have the most fun racing others the month after a wipe, and that's when I feel the game is most balanced too. But now it looks like they'll be making it so that there's separate worlds for players who want to have regular resets and for those who don't. Unfortunately, this will split the community, but I think it's worth it in the long run to make as many people as happy as possible. Not to mention, I think the majority of the community actually likes the wipes, so I think personally I'm good. The last thing would be skill-based matchmaking in the open world. If you want to add skill-based matchmaking to a competitive playlist like the arena, then that's fine. That makes sense. But in the open world, you can and should be able to come up against anybody, and that is the point of the game. Period. My biggest pet peeves with EFT is the types of movement. I wish there was a slider value so that you could move as slowly as you wanted to move to the point where you'd make absolutely no noise while doing it. Specifically, an example would be when prone. If you want to move a little bit to the left, I don't care if it takes 10 seconds to move a foot. I just want to do it and not sound like I'm sifting through bags of chips while doing it. The other thing is stepping over objects. I know that if you run at a specific angle at things, eventually you will walk over them. Like for instance, the fences in the parking lot of interchange. I wish there was an end-all be-all slow step over an object while not making noise to do that. There's also little steps here and there, for instance, the jump up spot in the back of the loading docks for interchange, and you have to jump over it even though it's barely a foot difference. I know in the past they've wanted to add a new animation suite to the game that involves working ladders and vaulting, but now we'll see if that does end up in the game at launch, as the game already does very well without those systems. I do want to be able to interact with cover better. Working bipods are supposed to be coming at some point with LMGs, but I hope resting your weapon on things is included in that in some way. A reach here would be having certain pieces of maps be interactable too. Nothing super fancy, just something similar to the doors on the towers in Arma where you can open and close the windows, or maybe some sandbags or debris that's in your way. Just something to allow just a little more of an angle on that one guy just barely out of reach because of a wall or debris. Everything else it sounds like they're working on. I wanted VoIP, and it sounds like that's already work in progress. I wanted flashlights and flares, and they're working on those. For those of you who don't know, they're going to be making flashlights more effective and disorienting to people, because in real life they are extremely disorienting depending on the flashlight when shined right at you. Flares would be very effective when fighting at night on top of just looking really cool. I did want more urban combat, and Streets is looking great, so I can't wait for patch 13. That's it, guys. If I wasn't negative enough for you guys, I'm sorry, but at the same time, not sorry, because there's plenty of people who actually make a living from crying about video games on the internet, but I am not one of them. You won't need to search very hard to find people crying about EFT, trust me. That's it for today, guys. If you want to learn anything about Escape from Tarkov or its development, then you can check out my playlist for it here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. I really appreciate the people who do. Otherwise, I hope you at least learned something, and I also hope you have a nice day. See you guys.